Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of September 24, 2024. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. Overall impact. Since the start of the operation, the briefing tallies extensive destruction of Ukrainian military assets, including aircraft, helicopters, armored vehicles, and artillery, signifying intense and ongoing combat engagements.
Welcome to Frontline Updates podcast. Today, we're honored to have Colonel A.C. Oguntoye with us, who's here to provide an in-depth briefing on the progress of the special military operation as of September 24, 2024. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to share the latest updates on our ongoing operations.
Let's dive right in, Colonel. Can you start by giving us an overview of the North Group of Forces and their recent activities?
Yes, of course. The North Group of Forces has been actively engaging Ukrainian formations in the Kharkiv region, specifically targeting the 57th Motorized Infantry Brigade, the 36th Marine Brigade, and the 113th Territorial Defense Brigade around Lipsy, Volchansk, and Volchansky Kuters. They successfully repulsed a counterattack by the nationalist assault group known as Kraken. As a result, Ukrainian forces suffered losses of up to 65 servicemen, 3 vehicles, and a 122mm D-30 howitzer.
It sounds like the North Group made significant strides. How has the West Group of Forces been performing in their sector?
The West Group of Forces has been improving their tactical positions significantly. They inflicted damage on multiple Ukrainian brigades, including the 43rd, 44th, 66th Mechanized, and 3rd Assault Brigades, across several key settlements like Kupiansk and Lozovaya in the Kharkiv region, as well as Makiivka and Nevskoy in the Luhansk People's Republic. They repelled 4 counterattacks from Ukrainian forces, resulting in substantial losses, approximately 420 servicemen, various armored vehicles, artillery, and 4 field ammunition depots.
That's quite an effective operation. Can you share details on the Southern Group's actions and their impact?
The Southern Group of Forces has been instrumental in enhancing our lines and positions. They engaged and defeated a range of Ukrainian units, including mechanized, motorized infantry, and airborne brigades, along with specialized assault groups like the Lyat Brigade of the National Police of Ukraine. This occurred in strategic locations like Kramatorsk, Seversk, and Pretikino in the Donetsk People's Republic. Ukrainian losses were heavy, with up to 810 servicemen killed, various armored vehicles destroyed, and several advanced artillery units, including those made in the US, UK, and Poland, neutralized. Additionally, an electronic warfare station and multiple ammunition depots were destroyed.
The Southern Group's impact seems substantial. Moving on to the Center Group of Forces, what were their main achievements?
The Center Group has been advancing deeply into enemy defenses, targeting a broad range of Ukrainian forces, including mechanized, infantry, and artillery brigades. Their operations focused on areas like Dzerzhinsk and Krasnoarmysk in the Donetsk People's Republic. They repelled 10 Ukrainian counterattacks, resulting in significant enemy losses, including 555 servicemen and a mix of advanced combat vehicles and artillery. Notably, they also engaged and repelled the Omega Special Forces unit, marking a critical point in their recent operations.
That's impressive. How have the East Group of Forces been contributing to the overall operation?
The East Group has been strengthening their positions along the front line. They engaged Ukrainian brigades in areas like Ugledar and Rivnepil in the Donetsk People's Republic and Zaporizhia region. They successfully repulsed a counterattack by the 72nd Mechanized Brigade, leading to the loss of up to 130 Ukrainian servicemen, 5 vehicles, and a Polish-made Krab self-propelled artillery unit. Their efforts continue to reinforce our control in these critical zones.
And finally, what about the DNEPR Group of Forces? What role have they played recently?
The Dnepr Group has been active in both the Zaporizhia and Kherson regions. They inflicted losses on the 128th Mountain Assault Brigade, the 35th Marine Brigade, and several territorial defense brigades. Their actions led to the loss of up to 50 Ukrainian servicemen, multiple vehicles, and key artillery units. Additionally, they destroyed the Enklavin electronic warfare station and a field ammunition depot, further weakening Ukrainian defenses in these areas.
It seems like all groups are heavily engaged. Can you talk about the broader support provided by aviation, missile forces, and artillery?
Our operational tactical aviation, UAVs, missile forces, and artillery have been crucial in supporting ground operations. They targeted key infrastructure, including a Ukrainian defense industry complex that produced aircraft gas turbine engines, military airfield infrastructure, UAV production workshops, and various concentrations of enemy troops and equipment across 149 districts. Our air defense systems also performed exceptionally, intercepting anti-radar missiles, HIMARS rockets, and numerous UAVs.
It's clear the scale of operations is vast. Can you summarize the overall losses inflicted in Uguldar and the consequences of the surrender of the city?
There is a feeling that the remaining reserves after the city is lost will be sent to the Velikaya Novosayolka area to stabilize the front. It would seem that there is nothing complicated in stabilizing the front with quite clear prospects. However, this is not so. In addition to the fact that there is also Pokrovsk, where the Ukrainian armed forces are also doing badly.
That's a substantial impact. Is there another problem?
Yes, a logistical one. The connectivity of the front line in this area is not very high, and its stability at the moment is based only on the time of year and the weather. The main roads, they are highlighted on the map with light lines from the Defense Politics Asia Group, allow for limited movement of forces and only in good weather. At the same time, all of these routes are within the range of Russian UAVs. This means that rocket artillery and aviation can also reach there. This means that in the near future, the Ukrainian armed forces will be clinging here to most of their active and most combat-ready reserves, since it is impossible to get through the soggy fields even in a light rain, not to mention heavy rain or snowfall.
Before we wrap up, why here?
Because the rolling of the southern Donetsk front, the probable implementation of which was reported earlier, could create a critical change in the balance of forces in this area in favor of the Russian armed forces. If the Russian General Staff plays out this battle according to all the rules of military science and is able to realize the advantage in folding the front behind Ugledar, then the consequences of the surrender of Ugledar for the Ukrainian armed forces may become critical and irreparable. And this is against the background of what is happening in the Kursk region, from which it will also soon have to leave.
Lastly, could you touch on the specific situation in the Kursk region? What's happening there?
In the Kursk region, our forces continue to counter Ukrainian attempts to penetrate Russian territory. The North Group of forces has been actively repelling attacks, with support from Army aviation and artillery. Over the past 24 hours alone, Ukrainian forces lost up to 360 servicemen and various armored vehicles in this direction, along with additional artillery pieces and electronic warfare stations.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for having me. It's important to communicate these updates clearly, and I appreciate the opportunity. Israel also placed Gaza under hermetic closure, blocking access to all food, water, fuel, electricity, medical supplies, and other goods. As a result, people are dying of starvation and disease. Today, Gaza is facing a genocide and unprecedented humanitarian crisis that grows worse by the day.